Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Let's see. A Dryad specifically gets no real benefit from exploit weakness. Exploit weakness is for headshots. You can't really headshot melee. I mean, I guess you could, but it would require a bit of luck. Anyway, type some stuff in chat, y'all. Okay, I'm seeing stuff. R5R, what's up? So sorry about that, everyone. I'm not really sure what the problem was, but I completely shut that live stream down, and then I reconfigured a new live stream from scratch, and now it seems to be working. So it must have been something on YouTube Studio causing an issue. But anyway, now this is going to be a short one here today. I'm going to hop on into some expeditions. Let's go back to... we'll do a different one this time, though. What do we want to do? Let's do Crumble Bulwark. What's going on there, German Gamer? God, I'm so stoked it's working now. I was wondering what the hell could have been the problem. What's up, Bashar? How you doing? Maddie. So anyway, I'm on US West. Feel free to hop on in and join me. Like I said, I literally have no clue what that problem was. Sadly, it did eat up about an hour of my stream time today. So this is only going to be about a 60-minute stream. I do apologize for that. So don't hesitate to ask any questions if y'all have any. And then, of course, feel free to join me if y'all are in-game and playing. That's a tough one there, Ryan. The EV2 would definitely be a big first choice. What I would suggest is looking through the characters and seeing who you think looks like it would be the most fun. The problem with going with my suggestion is it's who I think would be the most fun, not who you think would be the most fun. And I personally would say after EV2, I would go Mystic, personally. But that's me, you know. Dylan, what's up? Sahil? Yeah, I'm not really sure what was up there, y'all, but things appear to be working now, so I'm not going to complain. Well, I'm going to complain, but you guys know what I mean. I'm not going to complain too much. Alright, I think we're probably good. Yeah, we could get a little anti-air in, maybe. We won't need any on this side. I mean, I can put one there just for giggles. I'm on US West there, Albert. Yeah, I just have no clue. Now, unless... Yeah, I just have no idea. Now, after I stopped that last stream and was looking around, I tried to log into YouTube Studio, which is like the content creator side of things, and YouTube Studio was actually down. So I'm assuming it may have been a YouTube Studio problem. My thoughts on the state of DDA? Well, I mean, it's not launched yet. So I think their launch is too soon, personally. I've said that ever since they announced the date. I mean, I'm glad that the launch date is coming. But I don't know. I just don't see how they possibly could be ready to go in, what, 3 weeks? Not even 3 weeks? What's today? Today's the 9th. So, what, 17 days the game launches on PC. I just don't even see how on earth they're possibly going to have it ready by then. But I'm not the developer, you know. It's impossible to get now, Jaime. Chromatic will not give out any more codes for the flares, and that's the only way to get it. How it worked was they would give me codes for the flares, and then I would give the flares away on stream, and they just won't give them out anymore. So sadly, that is now an extinct item. Quite unfortunate, really. They don't, it's not their game, you know? I mean, they own the rights to the game, but it's not their game. No, I'm not going to be doing any primes today there, OJ. Well, I haven't done any Onslaught floors in ages, Albert. I stopped at like 500. I think I'm at like 504 or 506, something like that. I don't even know. Yeah, DDA is 40 bucks. We'll see how it goes. I mean, one thing about the game is so weird. Now I've got... Here we go. One thing about the game is, you know, and it's got a lot of good feedback and comments, and it's got a lot of negative feedback and comments. But one thing about it for sure is it is fun. Dylan going to play some Dark Souls 3? You're an addict, Dylan. You're an addict. Well, the best blockade mods would be mods that that would increase the health. There's one blockade mod that you would think would be spectacular, and that is the... What the heck's it called? The one that does the explosion for damage that it's taken. But the problem with that mod is it's actually damaging... The explosion is damaging your blockade. So, one thing you will find later game, though, as you progress, is you will not use blockades. Frostfire Remnants is like in 2 more weeks background. You can look at it. There's a timer for it in bot spam on my Discord. If you're in my Discord. Well, I mean, the game's not launched yet, so, you know, we can't judge the price of the game until it's launched. I mean, I agree with you. The whole time prior to it launching, and people were asking me how much I thought it would cost. I thought it was going to cost $29.99. So 40 bucks does seem a little bit high, but on the same note, I mean, you're going to pay 60 bucks, 80 bucks for Borderlands 3, and you're going to get like a tenth, if that, of the gameplay out of it. So, I mean, as far as like dollar per hour of enjoyment, they could really charge any amount, and it would still be a good deal as far as like amount of money spent per hour of enjoyment. It's the thing about Dungeon Defenders, is it's a grindy mofo. So, I mean, every Dungeon Defenders game, you're going to get your money's worth out of the game. Now, I mean, as soon as the game launches on May 28th, I'm a skeptic right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm a skeptic about whether or not the game will be ready. And I will be doing a very honest opinion. If I think that the game is in a launch state, I will tell everybody. I think it's in a launch state. If I think stuff's missing, I will come right out and say that as well. Protective Downgrade Servo is definitely a good mod for blockades as well. But the problem is you just don't use blockades. You don't use blockades for baiting kobolds either. Kobolds go after tower defenses. So, like, the best bait for a kobold would be like an obelisk if you have the mystic, a frostbite tower with a totem on it. If you have, well, obviously everybody's got the apprentice. So a frostbite tower is an easy go-to. Protective Downgrade Servo is just, by theory, that's a great mod. But the problem is just blockades are not used. Like, you can use them, you can force yourself to use them, but as a standard element of a build, it's non-existent in game. Now, you could use them, like, if you've got a lane that's full ranged mobs, you could throw a blockade down within a reflect beam and just use that to kill off all the ranged mobs, let them kill themselves. No microtransactions. Let's see here. That's one of the best things about the game, I think, personally. That right there, if it would have been a totem, that right there would have been a great a great blockade relic. But obviously it doesn't have the right stats, being a medallion and not a totem. But that would be a really good, just natural find on that one. Nah, Dragolich is the shit there, Albert. I got this pet on just for Sparkle Party because the last time I played, I was doing Power Surge Prime. And having Sparkle Party to get the assassins off you is really helpful. Dragolich is definitely the stuff, though. What's going on, Ponderous? If you hit me up when you get up, I know you're in Germany. If you hit me up in Discord when you get up in the morning, I'd be more than happy to help you out with that in DDA. But I'm not going to be available for many, many hours. After the stream today, I've got some things to attend to, and then I'm going to be streaming DDA later on. Actually, when I'm streaming DDA later on, if you're still up, I'd be more than happy to then. But that's not going to be for a few hours. Like I said, I've got some stuff I need to do. I don't think anybody's using 100% tenacity armor. I mean, there might be, but I'm pretty sure people aren't using that. No one that I've talked to, I don't think, is using that. Tenacity, the problem is you need it on all your pieces. So you've got a pretty steep reduction in just your damage output by taking away a mod slot from every piece of armor. But most people playing Barb are utilizing the stances to deal with assassins. Every once in a while you can get a Skarnash that refuses to despawn and he'll outlast your turtle stance. Random's got it on a spreadsheet. I'll have to look at that again. That's definitely a shocker to me because it's, in theory, it's just a waste. But, I mean, if you're willing to give up, what, 33% of your overall armor mods? Yeah, it's the same old stuff. Nothing has changed in DD2 in years, Jaime. Like, it's been over a year since the Petrify combo was added, and that still didn't change anything else. It just added something new. But it didn't change what worked before. The problem with tenacity on your armor is it allows you to still attack, but they can still hit you. It's not giving you damage protection. The problem with assassins is them one-shotting you. So that's really innately. Now, you know, if people are using it effectively, more power to them, but if I ever decided to go for an Onslaught climb, I would not be using it for sure. Say it's worth the small grind to get a guaranteed 10 out of 10 tenacity. It's going to be way quicker to roll it than it is to find it, Dan. Way quicker. Like, I mean, you could literally play for 5,000 hours just grinding for tenacity and never find it. Never find a 10 out of 10. So, I mean, basically how that works with any mod is if you find it naturally, then you got lucky. But, you know, the chances are so slim. The only way that you can specifically say, I want this 10 out of 10 mod, is to reroll. And that's what makes rerolling so powerful, really. Well, then you would be the luckiest person in the game. How does it feel to just waste the most luck you will ever have in your entire life on a free-to-play video game, Technosouls? You should have bought a lottery ticket, dude. You'd be a millionaire right now. Because the odds of getting 2 of those in 12 hours is literally greater than winning the lottery. So, I can't even say congrats. I feel like you just wasted the largest opportunity in your entire lifetime as far as luck goes. Sorry, dude. But yeah, I mean, the chances of that happening are like way into the 1 in millions. You get lucky rerolls, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Take them while they're there, man. I've had a few lucky rerolls. I accidentally rolled past a anti-melee once. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have done it once. So you only need to do it once to learn your lesson. But I rolled past an anti-melee once. A 10 out of 10. And then I was all pissed, but I'm like, well, you know, I need it, so I'm just going to keep rolling. And so I kept rolling it, and I got it again, like in 15 more rolls. So, I mean, luck is definitely a thing. By all means, embrace it. But like I said, getting 2 10 out of 10 tenacities within 12 hours, that's lottery level there. Yeah, that is, without a doubt, lottery levels of luck. So, yeah, man. Anytime you're feeling that vibe there, Technosouls, put the game down and go get a lottery ticket. Go buy your mama a new house, man. She deserves it. No, you just go up once. Basically, how the progression of the game works is you do 2 Onslaught pushes. You start the game, you play through the base progression of the game, and then you push as high as you can in Onslaught. After you push as high as you can in Onslaught, then you do your Ancient Power resets, and you do all of them. Get them all out of the way. Then you take your newfound power, and you push as high as you can in Onslaught again. Which, I mean, if you're dedicated, that would be into the 945 plus range. And then after that, you've beat the game. You won. Go play something else because you just dumped several thousand hours into Dungeon Defenders 2. The chances per roll are really, really slim, Andy, but it's guaranteed at 286 rerolls. So, yeah, I mean, you will get, like, if you re-roll a bunch of mods, you know, like, I've done thousands and thousands of re-rolls, so I've got a pretty good sample size of what you're going to get. Your chances of getting a 10 out of 10 are really slim, but the chance is still there. You know, you will get lucky every few mods. It's not going to happen regularly. There will be more mods that you have to re-roll 286 times than there will be mods that you get before 286 if you do a bunch of them. But you will get lucky and get a few. There's no doubt. No doubt at all. Alright, my inventory is going to be train wrecked after this one. What's going on there, Gage? Welcome. This is going to be a shorty today. Sadly, I was having some problems with YouTube chat. So this one's only going to go for about 45 more minutes. I do apologize, but feel free to keep your questions coming, y'all. Anyone has any questions, by all means, ask away. Oigwai, what's up, what's up? What's my opinion on Gunwitch? I think it's probably the most fun hero to play. She is insanely fun to play. and can put out massive damage. If I had to name, I mean, she's not my favorite hero, but if I had to name a hero that I thought was the most fun to play, it would without a doubt be the Gun Witch. She's just an absolute blast. And powerful. So, I mean, you combine being an absolute blast and powerful together, that's a really good combo. But basically, as far as the premium DPS only type heroes, they're both really, really good. You know, the Gun Witch is really, really good. The Barbarian is really, really good. But you have to decide whether or not you want to play melee or if you want to play ranged. If you're looking to, you know, if you're not a fan of melee damage, then the Barb is going to be blah to you. And then same thing, if you're not a fan of ranged DPS characters, then the Gun Witch would be blah to you. I personally love ranged DPS characters in every game I play. Poison Servo, I think, will drop on all tiers. Let me check. I can look at that real quick in the Discord here. Let me see. Chaos 4, actually. Or no, it says campaign. Campaign and up. So yeah, it will be in all tiers. What are the numbers on the bottom right of them? In my inventory, the numbers are the mod level. If you hold down, like on PC, if you hold down shift, it toggles them on and off. And it lets you see, you know, your mod level on that item. It's just kind of for quick looking, you know, if you want to just take a quick gander through your inventory and see if you got any 10s. Well, that's just a broken game, what you just described, Evan. So, I mean, that is a big reason why I don't really push an Onslaught. It's a big reason why 99.9% of the player base doesn't play Onslaught at all. Any game that forces you to use a specific character to play the game is a broken system. It's one of DD2's big failures. It's sad, but true. It's just one of the many big broken failures in DD2 that unfortunately will never get fixed. But whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and be a negative Nelly today. You should do whatever is fun, Michael. You can use just the first 4 heroes to get into the hundreds of floors without ever having another hero. So there's no limitations as far as that goes. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want to progress faster? If you want to progress faster, then spend your defender medals on shards. If you want to focus on having fun over anything else, then spend your defender medals on heroes. It's just, you know, it's a choice. It's just a playstyle choice. No real wrong answers there. No wrong answers. If there was one thing only, I would roll the game all the way back to prior to the very first Trials update, is what I would do, Jaime. See, you guys are gonna get me on this negative train again. I don't want to be bitching and moaning all day. But mods and shards were added to the game 100% based off of monetization. a finance company made that decision. They said, hey, we put these things in the game and then we allow people to earn them, but we sell them for real money. We're going to make a ton of cash. That's why shards were put in the game. Now, mods were put in the game because the player base evaporated after the trial system was put in. Basically, when the trial system was put in, the game became a game of counters. It was no longer you play your favorites, you use your favorite things. It was you use this defense to beat this enemy. If you don't use this to beat that, you will not win. It was straight up a game of counters. And then it lost a large chunk of the player base because people hated it. People want to play their favorites. You know, people don't want to say, I have to play this. You know, people want to play their favorite things. And mods were put in as an effort to get those players to come back to the game. Because it allowed them to do, like, to Piercer Servo on a Cannonball Tower, or, you know, Tenacity on a Flame Aura, etc., etc. If it was me, I would have rolled the game all the way back to pre-trials where it was Nightmare days, and I would have increased and kept expanding on Nightmare levels. And then the game would have that special loot feel. Right now the game is lacking a sense of loot. Like, there is no special loot. All of your loot is just containers to hold your mods and shards. That's all it is. It's a Tupperware dish. This ad not sponsored by Tupperware. But with that in mind, your gear doesn't matter. Having a relic, for example, that's 80% to the max stat versus one that's 100% to the max stat is like negligible amounts of damage. What's going on, Danny? So that, you know, it makes the gear not special. And we had special loot in the Nightmare days, was my whole point of that rambling and raving. Counters aren't hard and demanding, it just changes the game. It turns it into... I mean, the game's a strategy game, but it turns it into a game where you learn the counters, you beat the game, you know? And that's what the game is after that. I don't know what the 1000 Club is, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah, I'm not sure, Rexo. I have no clue what you're talking about. Well, I mean, that was just the question. The question is, what would I change? You know, everybody will answer that question differently. That's my answer. I thought the game was more fun then. Because you had that reason to do Life-Root Forest 6 million times, because there was a special shiny at the end, and you wanted to get the best possible one. Like, in that example, Life-Root Forest was where the Frosty Power staff dropped. Back when Frosty Power was a passive on an item, you know? Peter, thank you so much for subscribing. And your goal was to get a 50% Frosty Power. And, you know, and like I had to do it hundreds of times before I got one. And every time, at the end of the map, I was on the edge of my seat, waiting to see what that was. You know, waiting to see what my role was. And that's... to me, that's what's exciting about the game. is collecting and farming up that super special loot, you know? Well, I think that was the majority of most people's complaints. There, Hoig. Was it just, you know, now, like I said, mods remedy that, you know? Well, I think you just answered your own question there, though, Andre. If it's not fun, don't do it. It's a game, you know? Yankee Islander, what's up? Mr. White, what's up, what's up? I mean, it's a game. If any of you all are not having fun, then you're playing the wrong damn game. That's just all there is to it. You know, if a game's not fun, then it's not a game. It's just some program running on your PC. There's no plan to at the moment, as far as I know, Rival. But, I mean, you never know. Well, I mean, getting the 10 out of 10 mods is frustrating. Imagine what happens once you get all the 10 out of 10 mods and then you have nothing to do, Jerry. It's all about the journey, man. The problem is you don't get that big excited feeling grinding for reroll tokens, is the deal. You know, if instead of having mods, there was special loot that had the chance where every time you did this map, you were guaranteed to get this item. And then you were doing that map and farming it over and over and over again for the hopes of getting a perfect version of that item. That's the loot farming that I personally enjoy. You know, you go here to get this, and then what you're looking to do is to get the best version of that you can. You know? You get hyper shards from either completing mastery or completing prime incursions. You get one for each prime incursion region. And then you'll get one at the halfway point of every mastery tier. The prime incursions are the easiest way to get them. I know some people were bitter about that, but like I think putting destructive pylon, making destructive pylon so easy to get, I personally think that was a really good move. It's like a catch-up mechanic for a newer player. Every game, or not every game, but most games out there put some form of catch-up mechanic in once they're years down the roads in development to make it so that, you know, as a newer player, it's not going to take you so much to get to the point where you were, or to get to the point where other people are and are playing. So, I mean, I think it was a really good thing that they did. But yeah, Prime 1 will get you Destructive Pylon, and that's kind of a big deal. Smart choice from super smart devs. Leave it to Danny to say that. It's true, though. I mean, you can't say, well, I mean, that was Chromatic. That was the decision from Chromatic. That was not a decision from a finance company. You know, so it was a decision made by developers that care about their game, you know? Right now, that's a little bit of a false statement there, Devin. I mean, it's true, but it's very misleading. I mean, literally every free-to-play game on the market got a massive, massive player bump when everybody got shut indoors for the coronavirus. I actually was looking through it, wondering where all these people were coming from with DD2, and I started looking up other games. So you got to take that into consideration as well. DDA is not even launched yet, so I mean, you can't even count that one in the mix. It's a early access title, and a large percentage of players won't play early access games. So yeah, right now it's got the largest player base that it's had in years. It's not because the game is in such a good place right now, though. It's because there's this international pandemic and people are looking for ways to pass their day. You know, I mean, let's be honest. It actually didn't, although it got a big bump in players, it didn't go up in the most played free-to-play games on Steam. Actually, it did go up, but it didn't go up a substantial amount. It's like on the fifth or sixth page. And each page has like, what, 15 or 20 games? So, I mean, it's true that there's more players playing now than ever before. But it's a little bit misleading to relate that to the state of the game at all. Trendy didn't change to Chromatic. Chromatic purchased Trendy, basically. Trendy doesn't exist anymore. So basically, it's a superhero story. You know, it's the little guy fought the system and did right and got back. That's what everybody that hates on DDA, that's a big DD2 fan. One thing you are not realizing, because you do not have all the facts, is DD2 servers would probably not even be running right now if it wasn't for Chromatic and if it wasn't for DDA. But basically, you got person number one. We'll just call him person number one. Person number one created Wonderful Game, which is Dungeon Defenders 1. Wonderful Game was widely successful, and large investment company, we'll call those corporate baddies, came in and bought the studio from Superhero A, or Person 1. We'll call him Superhero A instead. So Superhero A was still a silent partner, but had no influence in the game whatsoever and very little communication about the game, but was still essentially a part of the game. Well, after game failed to make bunches of money like was promised, corporate baddie decided, let's dump the game. So they were going to dump the game. So Superhero A came back around and said, hey, what if I buy the game back from you all? And they said, okay, here, give us money, here's the game. So Superhero A bought the game back from corporate baddies, and Superhero A wanted to make the game that, or wants to make the game that they originally created. And that was where DDA is, in many places, in many aspects, people consider a remake of DD1. Because Chromatic is trying to get back to that point where it's the game that they wanted to make, you know, instead of the game that corporate baddie told them to make. So that's basically the long story. That's the a very abbreviated version of the long story. Let me rephrase that. That is the extremely abbreviated version. There's actually tons of info out there. It's just that stuff, you know, Chromatic as a developer is never going to talk bad about Trendy. They're not going to. But you can get all of basically what I just said. You can get that word for word direct from the horse's mouth if you do a little investigation. You're just never going to find Chromatic addressing the Dungeon Defenders player base saying any of that I just said. But if you do some research like I've done, you will come up with local press interviews and stuff like that that's directly from the powers that be. You know, them actually saying it on video out of their mouth. You know, so that's kind of where it stands right now. OMD3 is not Epic exclusive. It's even worse. It's Stadia exclusive, but it's a timed Stadia exclusive. We just don't know how long it's going to be. That's quite a bummer. I'm not going to disagree with you in any way, shape, or form on the OMD3 thing. But one thing that Robot Entertainment is really, really good about is communication. And they straight up said, hey, we would not have been able to make this game if it wasn't for Google. Google put the money up, and they are 100% the reason the game is being made. So, you know, I mean, you get that aspect of it. You appreciate their honesty, even though it stinks. Pizza and Monster Break, there's nothing wrong with that, Dylan. I actually had wife-approved pizza just a few days ago. I was kind of shocked. It depends on, I think so, yeah. I mean, it depends on Dungeon Defenders Awakened's success, I think. If Dungeon Defenders Awakened is really successful, I mean, they've already teased that it's the stepping stone to Dungeon Defenders 3. But if Dungeon Defenders Awakened is a complete flop, then, you know, you would have to question whether or not they would want to do that. It's all about the success. Now, I can't imagine Dungeon Defenders Awakened being a complete flop, to be honest. Even for the people that are like diehard DD1 or diehard DD2, and you in no way want anything to do with DDA, which there are people out there like that, it's bringing the Dungeon Defenders franchise to a brand new player base, and that's the Nintendo Switch. There's never been a Dungeon Defenders game on a Nintendo product. And that's going to be a huge amount of players because, let's be honest, it's a fun-ass game. All of them are. DD1 is super, super fun. DD2 is super, super fun. DDA is super, super fun. It's just where the negativity could come from is when you do direct comparisons of this game to that game, you know? I'm looking forward to it, Devin. Well, when it hits console, I'll be playing on console too. So you need to send me an invite now. I think I'm Mr. Juicebags on Xbox and PlayStation. And then Switch, you would have to talk to me on Discord because they do that silly thing. I just don't understand Switch's friend system. Why on earth did they go that route? It just feels like completely antiquated, you know? Dungeon Defenders Awakened will be on Switch, Andrew. That was the whole point of the game, was to get it to the Nintendo universe. Gears Tactics is an awesome game, Kenny. I like strategy games. I really enjoyed Gears Tactics, though. I'm gonna play it more. I'm gonna play it on a harder difficulty. But yeah, I mean, I play a wide... I mean, you know, let's all be honest here. The majority of the content on my channel's not only tower defense, but a Dungeon Defenders game. Yeah, I'll be playing on Xbox, Raymond. Without a doubt. But I do enjoy strategy games. I enjoy casual games, too. I mean, there is literally nothing in this world that's going to pull me away from Terraria 1.4 until DDA launches. That Terraria update that hits, I am going to be all over that. Oh my god, are you kidding me, Devin? That is crazy. A different friend code for each game? Wow. And I complain about their system now. Destiny 2 is a fun game too. I just don't like the direction the game went. I do enjoy playing the Crucible. Anytime I want to get a little sweaty PvP in, that's where I go. And then Danny comes and steals all my killing blows. What's the update? What's the update to what? Roman. There's no updates going out for any of the Dungeon Defenders games today. More sweat, please. The well is dry. Maybe soon. You know what? Another thing I did debate on doing, and I know, Danny, you've heard me bitch about it the whole time, but I really enjoyed the base storyline and campaign in Destiny 2. I debated on doing a 100% free-to-play playthrough on my alt. Oh, for Destiny 2, they changed over to the whole seasonal thing with their last expansion. I was super stoked when they did their last expansion, and then after I played it, I was like, not as stoked. Oh, Terraria. Terraria 1.4 is like the last big update to Terraria. There's no updates currently planned that I'm aware of for DD2. They've publicly said that there's not going to be any more updates to DD2, Ryan. The exact words from the Chromies were they still support the game and that they would maintain the game and give occasional cosmetic additions. I think that was the exact words. I don't remember the exact date of 1.4, Roman, but it's got a lot of cool stuff on it. Only 400 defense on the Jack Sparrow? That definitely seems like something weird. You could put, if Lightning Strike Auras were only 5 DU, you could put 400 Lightning Strike Auras on that map. How awesome would that be? What's Terraria? What? I'm not. I don't even know how to answer that, Roman. What's Terraria? I mean, good lord, man. One of the most addictive games ever made. Yeah, see, the thing, though, Devin, is if you combine the words minor change and bug fix, they're talking about, like, if a server has an issue, they'll reset the server. They're not talking about, like, redesigning any systems or doing any major changes in the game. Don't, I know there's other people out there that talk about how the second DDA launches, Chromatic is going to instantly switch development back to DD2. That is a complete myth. That's just not true. Why would they? I mean, look at it from their perspective. It's not the game they wanted it to be. It was a game that creative decisions were made by an investment company. So if that was your game and you made it, wouldn't you want to be doing something else? I mean, the game's not fixable without completely redoing it. Let's be honest. It's on an outdated game engine. The game would have to be completely reworked in Unreal 4, which would be a major project that would not be worth... Well, I mean, if they completely re-released it as DD 2.5 and it was the new version of DD2, it would probably sell. But I just can't see why financially they would want to do that, or motivationally why would they want to do that. I mean, imagine being an artist and someone telling you that you can't make this sky blue, that sky needs to be green. Wouldn't it piss you off? Well, if it's the guy that's buying the paint, you gotta make it what color he wants it to be. You know? And that's where the problem lies with DD2. It's a great game, and you'll get many, many, many hours of enjoyment out of it. Just take your expectations down for future changes to DD2 to the non-existent level. Nah, that's not how it worked, Devin. First off, a community development team was not directly offered. But additionally, you have to look at Dungeon Defenders 2 as a server-side game, which means to give a community member access to the source code and the system, it's also going to give that person access to players' private information. It's not a matter of that. You gotta remember, like, the community development team to DD1, they don't have DD1's source code where they were able to go in and change it. They've got the Dungeon Defenders development kit, the DDDK. So, I mean, they've never straight up said they weren't interested in it at the moment. That, and to be honest with you, when that whole topic was brought up, it was a what if type situation. Because as far as I'm aware, there's not like a big community development team beating down the doors trying to get access to it to fix it. But it's a different animal than DD1 was. DD1's an offline game with mod support and a development kit. It was a lot easier to allow the community to do changes to it. There's a lot of myths like that out there. I'm doing good there, Kragus. How you doing? What's up, Nacho Truck? So is it Nacho Truck like Nacho Truck? Or is it Nacho Truck like a truck that sells nachos? Because let me tell you, if it was a nacho truck, man, I would love to see that thing pull up out front right now. But if it was a nacho truck, that's a whole different story then. Nah, DD2 servers will never get shut down, or won't for a really, really long time. You gotta remember that although DD2 is not the big profitable game that the finance company wanted it to be, it doesn't cost a lot of money to keep the servers alive. So, I mean, literally, if anyone is playing it still and spending any money at all, the servers will stay up. I wouldn't guess DD2 servers will go down for a decade, if then. I mean, I just don't see why they would. It's super cheap to have a game server run, and there's only 3 of them. It's not like it's WoW and there's hundreds of different servers to play on. You know, so I just can't see the servers ever shutting down, really. To be completely honest. A truck that sells nachos. Perfect. We'll pull it up outside there, Nacho Truck. That's about the only way I'm going to be able to talk the wife into nachos today, is if there was a nacho truck literally like parked right outside. It's your brother's birthday? My birthday's coming up. 3 more days. My birthday in 3 more days, dear. You gonna cook me something yummy? She's like, nope. Cook it yourself. Yep, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is just right around the corner. I gotta call my mama too. Say what up. Thanks there, Charlie. And DD2 is... I appreciate your love and passion for the game, Ryan, but I mean, you gotta be realistic, man. I mean, as far as next-gen platforms, Xbox has already said everything would run, wouldn't they? Didn't they say everything was going to be backwards compatible? Or is that... did I read into that too far? Alright, we got time for one more. Let's knock out one more real quick. Then I'm going to have to get... sorry for the shorty stream today. Most of you all that were here really, really early. Yeah, so, I mean, on Xbox, DD2 will run on Xbox. Did PlayStation say the same thing? I didn't hear PlayStation saying that, but you'd think just to compete with Xbox they would say that. Alright, Rival, take it easy. This is the last map anyway. Like I said, a little shorty. I ate up an hour of the stream today, just for those that were here earlier dealing with the chat issues. I have no clue what was happening. It was something to do with the YouTube studio. I think, anyway. I don't even know, to be honest. They want to build it away. Build away. Perfect, my inventory's full too. Maybe I got lucky and got a 10 out of 10 up in there. PlayStation will have backwards compatibility for select games. Well, I mean, hopefully. The game DD2 runs so bad on PlayStation. It runs worse on PlayStation than any platform. So, I mean, that... uh-oh. I was kicked from the game. That's so funny. Oh my god. I was kicked from my own game. That's the second time now that's ever happened. Maybe I ended up getting paired with some people that didn't want the carry. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure who was in the group, to be honest. But, you know, I don't want to ruin anybody's experience. Oh, I think it's hilarious. That doesn't bother me at all. That's the second time now I've ever been kicked from a game. I mean, it's not funny when you're actually legit trying to play and you're not doing anything wrong and people are being douchebags and kick you. But in that situation, I think it's hilarious. So, makes that one easy. Paco Vanderwalt, thank you so much for subscribing. Alright, come on, be a 10 up in here. I am not seeing another one with a number 10 on it. WTF. Only hackers get kicked? Oh yeah? Tell that to all the new players that get kicked on the daily, Danny. What the hell, man? I haven't gotten a 10 out of 10 in so long. No, I haven't been putting a lot of grind into DD2 lately either, but damn, it's been so damn long. Alright, let's try it again. We'll get one more going here. Let's see, we'll go back to where we started, Unholy Catacombs. I'm not even going to put Juice Live on there, that way, in case those guys were just trying to troll, they don't pop back in. Oof. I didn't see your comment there, Blaster Man. Sony's one-up to the Xbox deal is heavily invested in screwing you with fine print, pressuring you to get the game and system upgrade with certain dates and deadlines. Well, that stinks. I don't follow the PlayStation news very closely. I probably should follow it closer. Well, I mean, what you're getting now would be a early access game that's incomplete, Jeremy. So, I mean, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you pre-order games? Are you that type of person? If you're not the type of person that pre-orders a game or plays a game in early access, then, nah, you probably want to wait. If you are the type of person that doesn't mind playing an early access title or doesn't mind pre-ordering games, then yeah, do it up. What's going on, Infinity? How you doing? I mean, I've gotten quite a few hours of enjoyment out of it already. So, I mean, for me, it's been money well spent so far, you know. I think I'm coming up on, well, between the multiple accounts, I'm definitely over 1,000 hours already. And the game's not even launched yet. So, I mean, that's good stuff. I'm not on 1,000 on my main account. I can actually look real quick. Let me see. If you don't pre-order, then yeah, this would be no different. If you don't pre-order games, there is nothing at all wrong with that. We've all been burned by pre-orders of games before. Let's see. Where is it on this account? I'm just AFKing away here. Here we go. Well, maybe I exaggerated. I'm at 761 hours on my main account in DDA, and I've probably got maybe 100 hours into... I've got two different alt accounts. I've got like 100 hours into one, and probably about 200 hours into the other. So I'm probably, like, between all the platforms, probably, like, really close to 1,000, but I may not be quite over the hump yet. I can't imagine there will be a launch day sale. I mean, I don't know, Jeremy, but I'm not guessing that there would be. I'm not guessing that there would be at all. DDA, after full launch on all platforms, will have considerably more players than DD2. Not just like DD2 when it launched. It's the new thing always has the most players. Yeah, DDA is a normal retail game. No microtransactions. No free-to-play elements. I mean, hell, the first month DD2 launched, it had like averaged like 18,000 players at one, or it peaked at 18,000 players online at once. And like now it's doing better than it has in years, but it's under 1,000. Yeah. Oh, you're telling me, Infinity. That was crazy. Thanks for subscribing there, Blood. Appreciate it. Oh, no problem there, Blood. Welcome to the channel. That's nice, Maddie. That's better than any one I've found. I think my best one is like 360 something, 350 something, 360 something. Ups, so I mean that's a good find. Onboard found a really good one. Actually, he found a 403 one the other day. David! What's going on, David? How you doing? Way to no way to transfer accounts at all. Quite unfortunate, but that's something I've been requesting for a long time. It's going good, David. I had some problems earlier. This is actually my last map, so I'm glad you swung by, but it is right at the end. I'll be on Twitch at 4 p.m. Kragus, so in 2 hours from right now I'll be over on the Twitches. Ish. 4 p.m. ish. I'm planning on playing some Dungeon Defenders Awakened, but I do kind of really want to play through that XCOM playthrough a little bit more. But yeah, I planned on playing a little DDA. Well, it's not really a game of hard. It's a strategy game. It's all about figuring out the counters. Once you learn the counters in Dungeon Defenders 2, you basically beat the game. That's what it's all about there, Hoy. Definitely always add your own flavor in. Any of the stuff I post up, I'm posting up just what I use. I'm not saying this is what you have to use. Use what your favorite defenses, your favorite characters. That's 100% the best way to play the game. I'm hoping so too, David. We're gonna have to see how it goes. Phil, one of the engineers, have publicly said that they've been working directly on optimization pretty heavily, and have made some good progress. So hopefully we get that on launch time. Oh, there's a 10 finally. What is it? Chaos Explosion. Oh man, what a stinker there. Crappy mod, crappy mod. But anyway, y'all, that is going to be it for today. Like I mentioned, I will be live over on Twitch at about 4 p.m. Playing some Dungeon Defenders Awakened, so feel free to swing on by. For those that are unsure about the time, that is just under 2 hours from right now. But Here is my time. Oh, does time not work on YouTube? Actually, it looks like time might not work on YouTube. But anyway, thanks a ton, everybody. Hopefully everyone's having a good start to their week. Don't forget to hop on in to the Discord server and say what up. And I will see you all soon. Take it easy.